So today we're going to work again with some gouache because we've been on the gouache kick lately. I'm going to start off with, I know we said we do bright pink. I tried bright pink. I didn't really like it. So let's do, I'm just going to mix a little bit of this pink. And this is the pink from Liquitex with a bit of the quinacridone Azo Gold. Some of you guys are asking about this color. This is the golden high flow acrylic. It's just my preferred one. They sell it in a lot of different, I guess, thicknesses. They make liquid, they make regular. They don't make the quinacridone anymore. It's just Azo Gold now, but it's pretty much the same thing. While I liked the pink when I tried it, it was just too much. It was so hard to cover up. I thought this might be a fun color to try. So let's make this our base color today. Let's spray a little bit of water here. And we'll get started. Let's put down what we have here on our, not quite as bright, but I think it's going to be really fun. Got our big brush out. We're just going to make some marks. Make some base color. I like the tinted color idea. I think it's really fun. I'm not doing this too thick. I'm really not going to worry about brush marks because everything I do is pretty textured anyway, so we're not really going to worry about that. You can see we've got already some, where we put down that first little bit. And I might even go in with and make some lines to begin with. See if these show up. Okay, those are all dry. Let's put down some marks. I'm gonna go a little bit lower than we normally go. I kind of want the sky to be the star today. This is our Pit Pastel. Black makes amazing marks. Let's get it a little wet. You get it a little wet, you get a little bit more of a dynamic mark through here. I think I want something kind of coming up through there, maybe. Okay, not too many lines today. I did buy some new brushes. These are some cheap Amazon brushes that I've got. I thought they would be bigger, but they are not. But I really just wanted some flat brushes to work with and maybe some rounds. It did come with this really fun fan brush, which I like. That'll be fun to try out. And this dagger brush is always a favorite. I just didn't really want to use my watercolor brushes for the gouache. This is also a filbert brush, which is kind of nice because it gives you like a round oval kind of shape. And then a bunch of little brushes, which we'll probably never get used. So we'll start with these to begin. So over on the Patreon channel this week, we talked about mother color, and we talked about using the concept of mother color to create harmony within a piece. If you want to check that out, I'll leave a link below. You can get a free trial of Patreon. I think it's like 14 days before you have to pay. So you can go over and watch that video and maybe become a member. But check it out. So I've got yellow ochre, ultramarine, and carmine red, white. And the Azo Gold, I think, is going to be our mother color. So the concept is we mix this mother color with all of these other colors, and it gives us a cohesive color palette. Another way to do it is to mix all three of these colors together to make a mother color, and then add in a little bit of these colors as well. But we're going to stick with this today. So I think the first color I want to do is a little bit of ultramarine. You guys can see that. Let's mix in a little bit of, ooh, that got really green. I wasn't quite expecting that. And let's put in some white. That's a nice color. Let's start here at the bottom. I didn't quite get that all mixed together, but oh, these new brushes are nice. I've also been really liking using my palette knife a lot too. So I think it's really been helping me get a different sort of mark that I don't usually get with brushes. So we're going to do a little bit of both here today. That wasn't quite the color I wanted. And we don't have to use the mother color in every instance. So for example, I'm probably not going to use it. I want the sky to be a little bit more of a light blue. I'm trying to do like some dramatic clouds. It is stormy AF here today. Raining all day, like literally all day, nothing but rain. I'm trying not to let that influence me today. Let's come with just a little bit of pure ultramarine, just right here. Just a little line of it would be nice, I think. You can see the marks I get with a palette knife are so different than what we normally get. I think I need some more white. By watching Sarah Burns is that she recommends that when you start adding white, rather than adding the white to that color, put out some white and then just take a little bit of that color and add it into the white, because the other way around, you're going to be using more white. It does make sense. This is going to give us a nice gray. Maybe we want just a hint of that. Just a little bit of that color in there so it's not pure white. And let's just continue making. I want this a little bit more fluid. Yeah, these brushes are really short. I'm not used to, they're not very long. I know I talked about in the last video how I like longer brushes, but it's really always really hard to tell on the internet what you're gonna get. I mean, I think they'll be fine. Just sort of a little bit of that color coming through. And then let's take some more of this blue and sort of add it on top. So we can make our drama sky. And again, we can let a little bit of that show through there. Maybe just something in between the blue that we have there. Yeah. Overall, I think this brush is okay. It's definitely getting the job done. Put in a little bit of the ochre where we started. Maybe just a little bit of black. Oh, I hear the thunder again. Must be time for more rain. I'm kind of just grooving on this brush right now. I like the marks that we're getting. I kind of like, actually, I kind of like that color. It's sort of a gold color. It's kind of mixing nicely over these blues. So the filbert brush will give us these cool lines like this. Because you can get like flat but round at the top lines, which is nice. Those are kind of fun marks. I'm kind of getting a little distracted by the orange color, by the background color. It's kind of, I am going to add in, I added some white to this green color. Ooh, that's a fun line. Get those marks. Ooh, I like this filbert brush. Love it. That's giving cool vibes up there. Like that. Let's take some more of the blue and the white, the ultramarine, and just mix up a little gray white color just to go through here. So I kind of want, then maybe we add just a little bit of that color, just kind of blending on the palette, on the page. It's feeling, I like that. I think I want this to be, okay, I've added a little bit of turquoise to the ultramarine with some white and a tad bit of the Azo Gold, very small amount. I'm going to bring this through here. Oh, that's a pretty color. I like that color. Let's come in with a brush. Let's get our filbert back out. Let me get some of this off here. At least not. Just wanted a richer blue maybe coming through here. Sort of like the scumbly technique with this brush. So we're just wiggling it back and forth. And then maybe some white. Just pure white. Let's go with just pure white and put a little bit of water. That's kind of sticky. Starting to figure out like consistencies with the gouache. It's a lot different than watercolor. Might want some bold marks. I know I keep adding this white and I keep covering it up. Like I'm fighting a losing battle here of what I want it to look like. Okay, so I've mixed up some white with that yellow color. Let's try out this fan brush. See what happens with this. Oh, it's kind of fun. Oh, I knew I was going to like this. It doesn't hold a lot of paint, but it definitely makes our lovely scratchy marks that we love. Right? Ooh, fun. Bob Ross was right about the fan brush. It is amazing. We should always trust Bob. So I actually have a little Bob Ross bobblehead, and look, he talks. You know me. I think you're the big old tree. Leave Bob out. We need inspiration. Get out your Bob Ross. I think we need some more yellow through here. Like unadulterated yellow. Maybe a little white. Let's make some marks through here. I got too wet there. So here's a fun fact about Bob Ross. I used to watch Bob Ross when I was a kid, and I had a black and white television in my room when I was like 6. And it came on right after Sesame Street. And I would watch it, and I loved it, and I was trying to paint, but because it was in black and white, I just sort of made up the colors. And my grandmother was very confused. She's like, why are you watching this in black and white? Shouldn't it be in color? I'm like, well, you could buy me a color TV, which she never did. But so yes, I painted with Bob Ross and made up my own colors because black and white TV. Like, it was literally my favorite thing on TV. I loved it so much. And he teaches a lot about, his lessons are very, about a lot of things, but I really enjoyed my time with Bob. And uh, they have created a YouTube channel for Bob Ross. Ooh, that's a fun color. Why didn't we mix that color in the sky? You can find it on YouTube if you need a fix of Bob Ross. What about this green color through here? I'm liking that. I don't know why. That's a really pretty color. Okay, let's put it down here too, which is the whole point. But then I kind of got distracted by my Bob Ross story. Oh, we got a little bit of see-through going on there. Yeah, let's continue with this color. I'm going to come up a little bit out of those fan brush colors. Okay. Want some more of this. I want to put this blue back. Oh, hold on. My paint got a little dry. Got to keep the gouache wet. It doesn't work if it's not wet. Like it dries pretty quickly. At least this brand does. I didn't really like that blob I just put down there. We can make it better. Ooh, that's fun. I like that. Yes, please, more of that. More of that beautiful blue ultramarine. Okay, I mixed up a little bit more of the ochre with the ultramarine here. A little less white than what we had up there. And I kind of just want to add in some of this. I think we need some more contrast, as Bob would say. Bob would tell us to put more contrast in here. So we need to get bolder. Let's add some black. Like a lot of black. We want this green to be greeny, blacky, maybe a little bit of blue. Okay, so this blue actually had some of the turquoise in it. Okay, I think this is where I want to go. I think this is where I want to go with this. So I want it to be darker here in the front. Okay, there we go. Let's make some marks like, let's change up our mark making here a little bit. If I use the side of the brush a little bit instead, give us some moodier lines through there. Let's come in with our palette knife. Really emphasize those marks through there. And then what if we took the lovely fan brush, came in with a bit of our marks like through here. Y'all, I'm loving this fan brush. Big fan of the fan brush. You see how that's pushing everything back? Trying not to get too literal because I'm not a literal kind of girl, but it's feeling very marshy to me. I don't mind what's going on here so much. I feel like it's getting resolved. Like through here. I don't know that I want it to be darker right there. I think I'm just going to leave that one part, that color. I might even make it. Okay, I'm just going to come in. I've put a little bit of water down on the Azo Gold. I'm almost going to use it like a glaze coming through here in some spots. This is a transparent color, so it should shine through quite nicely and it adds just a little bit of light. It should. It should add light. We're going to see what happens. I'm trying not to paint the whole thing that color, but I might have gotten carried away. Mixing a little bit with the colors underneath. I don't know if I like that. Might have been a bad idea. Okay, let's add some oil pastels in here and see what we can do. If we can make it better, or if we can make it worse. I shouldn't have added that Azo to the sky. That was a bad idea. That's all right. We're gonna roll with it and see what happens. I'm gonna put a little bit of blue through here. I'm gonna come in with some white as well. And we're just gonna make it more wispy. More drama, more wispy. And sometimes, you know, sometimes I mess things up. Actually, most of the time I mess things up. But sometimes when I mess things up, I learn something. But sometimes I don't. Like I learned, don't put the Nico Azo Gold over that color. I think I like a lot of what's going on through here, but I kind of want more of this blue that I covered up. And I really like using the oil pastels over the gouache. Mostly because of this, because I can scrape back into it and I can make texture. We have a darker color, darker. Ooh, that one's pretty. What about that one? Make some different marks through there. Oh, that's nice. I'm going to leave those little bits because I like how it just sort of is floating there on the top of the paper a little bit. I think that's really dramatic and pretty. And maybe, what if there was a little bit of that coming through here? Yeah, that did something. And it's a really fun way to define your work with the oil pastels, just to add in, not to color over it, but just to add depth. Because while we can do a lot with the gouache, I find it's really hard to build up layers and it lacks vibrancy that I like in my work. Even though sometimes I paint very dark, like even though that happens, but you can see that we can build up these pretty delicate layers, and we're creating movement now back through the piece to kind of bring out the light. I think it needs a little bit of this color up here. And the scratching back in is a really nice way to, we're just going to bring in a little bit of this yellow light through there. I think that's good. Okay. We need more. We need more building. So I like how this piece kind of comes through here. What if it came down this way a little bit? Add some marks through there. I like that. Okay, so we need something that is going to be, I like all the oranges, the orange marks through there. We need something a little more green. Let me think. Okay, so I have this sort of, I don't even know what color this is. They're so hard to read. Sort of a rusty color, burnt sienna-y. I want to put some of these marks through here. And maybe some up here. And then also this sort of golden, dark ochre color. I'm going to get a little crazy with this one. Just through there. And really enhance that rusty color. Another thing you can do with the pastels is you can take some off with your palette knife and use that to make marks, which actually works really well in this instance because we don't want a lot of it. And sometimes when you put down, it's hard when they're this fat, right? I mean, it's hard to get thin lines, so I'm always looking for ways to maybe make thinner marks, and that was a good way to do it. So I'm going to do that again. Well, it's not really working down here with this light. Okay. All right. I think I need one more color. I'm liking this color. Let's see what happens if I put it down here. Be a bit more. Let's get a little bit more aggressive with it. Okay. What if we brought in a little bit of pink? Salmon-y pink color. It's like one of my favorite color combinations in the world is, I love the way that pink looks against ochre. I don't know why. I just think it's the most beautiful color combination in the world. And then maybe some white. Like, what if we added some white? Just some white marks here to kind of define these areas that are a little lacking, I guess is a good word. some ways I like that it's picking up a little bit of that color. Got a lot of paint on here and a lot of texture. Maybe just a little bit through here. Okay, getting fussy. Let's add some lines. Okay, let's come in and make some lines. Ooh, that's sharp. I wasn't expecting it to be that bold. I want some marks coming like through here. Okay. What do you think? I mean, I could keep adding lines. You know, I could. Let's just add a few more through here. And this pink. Let's scratch a bit of this away. Got a little too bold there. That looks worse. It looks like I scraped it away. Okay, let me take the tape off. Let's add we probably got a little bit of that pink in there. I was just thinking, what if we added just a little bit more? I'm just lightly brushing over this. I'm not going to blend it together. I just felt like it might need you know what I mean? Just a little bit of a finishing touch there. Just on the side. I don't think I want to carry it over much further. Okay, I'm going to stop there before I cover the whole thing. Okay. Yeah, I think that did something. What do we think? I like it. I think it turned out cool. I think the underpainting definitely adds some vibrancy to it. I'm not sure that I'm going to keep using it though. I can see the transparency coming through, especially in the sky. Maybe not so much down here. Maybe it's something I only add to skies. Maybe I don't add it everywhere. I liked using the one color to mix in a little bit of the azo gold with all the other colors, although I didn't do it a lot. I like it. I like what we did through here with the pastels and the marks that we made through there. I think that yellow is really fabulous. I think the pink is really fun. I like the little blue pastel marks over top. And I think, for the most part, gouache and water and oil pastel are really nice together. I like the combo. More so than watercolor, I think. Okay. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out the Patreon. I'll leave the link below. And I'll see you in the next one.